Right now, all I'm doing is just wetting my hair. I've learned that it's really important that I wet my hair thoroughly, and this also allows me to use the water to detangle, and I call it water detangling. It's just using the stream of water from the shower to separate my hair as I physically separate it with my hands. I do it gently, but I really just want to make sure that I remove as many big tangles as possible. And one other thing that you will notice, and that I notice too, and this is how I know that my hair is getting wet, is that my hair hangs more and it feels heavy when it's saturated with water versus when it's dry and it's just basically a puff. So I gently use my fingers and just pull my hair apart, removing the big knots as much as I can. Definitely having a shower with a strong stream of water is preferable, but if you don't, just use what you can and be gentle regardless of what type of water you use. Just be gentle.
Mommy, is that going to be on the next?
And I just really just work through all of my hair. I work the sides, I work the back. And now that it's all saturated, now I'm going to go ahead and use the Naturelle Grow herbal blends to help me detangle.
8, 9, 10,
And the reason why I picked this conditioner is because it's protein free, and also because I'm doing a protein treatment. It's very important to use a product that doesn't have protein in it, because I don't want to add any more product to my hair than I need.
Mommy, I have to a pick.
If I add additional product to my hair, then that's going to make my hair possibly coarse or feel like it's straw or dry. And that could be definitely a reason why a lot of people complain that protein treatments make their hair hard, is because they're adding extra protein on top of an already protein concentrated product or treatment. So right now I'm really just working it through and just removing as many tangles as I can. And you can basically, with the Naturelle Grow product, I can basically just feel it melt the tangles in my hair. And so I'm just pulling it apart, gently pulling it apart and rubbing my fingers through, just making sure that, if I can get my fingers all the way through, then that's really good. That's exactly what I want, and the detangler is working exactly how it should. And see, the back part of my hair right here, that is the coarsest part of my hair. And I really have to be careful when doing any type of detangling in that section. Yeah, go ahead and take that big water hair off.
Daddy, quick.
So I'm just going to continue working it through.
Mommy.
And as you will see, it's going to get easier. It's going to basically detangle in your hands. Or, I'm sorry, I see that it's going to get easier, and it's basically going to detangle in my hands. And that's when I know that it's time for me to move on.
Mommy, sit down.
And I can just keep running my fingers through. And that's really important right there, just being able to just run my fingers through. Because, again, that's one of the other signs to let me know that it's working, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. I'm just going to keep working it through and working it through. And I am so happy that I found this out about my regimen when I did my 15 weeks, of getting to know my hair. That's part of what I did, trying to really figure out a really good regimen for myself. And I found out that before I do anything to my hair, I needed to wet it thoroughly, saturate it with as much water as possible, and use a detangler, not oils, but an actual detangler or deep conditioner that had a detangling ingredient in it, like BTMS or BTMS 25, BTMS 50, something like that, that will really help me detangle. Use that first, then turn around and shampoo and condition and style. And honestly, that just doing that little bit made such a humongous difference in my natural hair journey. And I'm so happy that I was able to figure that out. But it took time. It basically, it was learned within 15 weeks of really just focusing on getting to know my hair. So it's really starting to melt the tangles, and I could really just tell by how it's just feeling it, and how I don't really feel a lot of knots as I run over it with my hands. I can just tell that it's starting to detangle more. And that's one of the really good things that I like about this product. Okay, so right here, I really made a mistake because I should have used a comb to part instead of parting with my fingers and making my parts extremely clean. Because as I continue, I'm gonna need clean parts. It will just make it easier to have clean parts when you're detangling. And I honestly, I don't know why I didn't stop and correct it, but looking back at the video and everything, I really should have done that. So don't make the same mistake that I did. If you're parting with your fingers and you're detangling and or using a protein treatment such as ApHogee, use a comb, make your clean parts. It will help you so much in the long run. Learn from my mistakes. That's what I'm here for. Learn from my mistakes. Okay, so just parting my hair, I've parted from front to the back, and now I have parted my right side into two, and I'm just twisting that up, and I'm gonna put that in a claw, my back part, twist it up and put it in a claw. And one thing that I also learned from my 15 weeks of getting to know my hair is actually what was the best way to detangle my hair. And what I found out is that I need to detangle one in small sections. And so that's why I pretty much part my hair in fours, and then I half each section. So each fourth gets parted in half. And so not only do I need to detangle in small sections, but I also need to detangle in something that I call the funnel method, which means I'm going from biggest to smallest. And that starts out, it's 5 parts to it. Okay, or 4 parts. I use 4 combs. But I also use my fingers, a wide tooth comb, a standard comb, and then a small tooth comb. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Stay tuned to see the funnel method in action. And I really don't like working with really big sections that are bigger than more teeth space of the comb. So I like for the comb to be able to glide over all of it, over all of my hair. And if it can't, then look at that. little to no hair. That is why I love the funnel method for detangling. That is the absolute reason why.